The Hail Mary. Even though the play is rare, I've always been inspired by the idea, what it represents, and what it demands.
Up on third down, running out of time.
That moment when everything, the score, the clock, the odds are all against you. When options A, B, and C have been exhausted.
Someone needs to step up.
When there's no safe play left to make. And all that's left is belief. The belief that somehow, some way, someone will come through. Most games are won and lost on plays designed to avoid failure. The NFC Championship, the Super Bowl, are defined by the moments that defy it.
Come on, man!
Championships don't belong to the cautious. They belong to the bold. The Los Angeles Rams, the Seattle Seahawks on Fox.
Well, Matthew Stafford never won a playoff game in his first 12 years in the league with Detroit. But now, following an MVP-caliber fifth season with the Rams, Stafford is just one win away from making his second Super Bowl. In his first season with Seattle, Sam Darnold has a chance to chase away all his ghosts. He set the franchise record for wins and scoring during the regular season and has the NFC's top seed just a home victory away from the big dance. It is the league's top offense, the Los Angeles Rams, against the league's #1 defense, the Seattle Seahawks, in the NFC Championship on Fox. The winner moves on to Super Bowl 60. For now, though, take a trip with us to the Pacific Northwest on the one and only Fox NFL pregame, presented by the GMC Sierra family of trucks. We are professional grade. We welcome you to one of the best backdrops for football in all of America. They're known as the 12s, and they have packed the stands. They are ready to rock and roll for this divisional rival that will turn into the winner of the NFC and the representative in Super Bowl 60. It is electric here as we're about half an hour to kick off of the game. So with that, we invite you to come on out here and stay a while, folks. I'm Kurt Menefee here, field side today. We appreciate you joining us for this NFC Championship contest. And thanks to Ryan Gosling, whose film Project Hail Mary will be in theaters and in IMAX on March 20th. Of course, it's Championship Sunday. Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, Rob Gronkowski. You know a few things about this.
Yes. I love Ryan Gosling, by the way. He's a great actor. But this is going to be a great game today.
Yeah, going to be fun. Going to be a lot of fun.
He's a good-looking guy as well, Terry.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, Ryan is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know who looked good is just about over in Denver. Where it is over now officially. So the Rams and the Seahawks already know whoever wins this game will play the New England Patriots. Howie, last year they won 4 games last year, 4-13, and now all of a sudden they're back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's kind of the same kind of story here. It's Seattle, New England. So they needed to make change, and they did.
Well, you know, this was not a pretty game on either side. In those weather, you see how tough it was to kick field goals. Game decided by a field goal. Second half of the game, I don't think anybody did anything. Just a matter of who didn't mess it up. And the Patriots coming out on top, one of the 12 Super Bowls, pretty remarkable, especially with that team and Vrabel coming in and really just, you know, turning it around so quickly.
It was one of the best turnarounds in sports from where the Patriots were last year, then going out and getting Mike Vrabel as their head coach, and then having this turnaround and now going to the Super Bowl. Pats Nation, we're going back to the Super Bowl, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll be honest, he was sitting next to me watching all stressed.
I was, and then that Drake May run right there, he outran number 52, you know, for that first down with less than a minute left to seal the deal. But hey, I can say this, that gold jacket is 100% waiting for RKK to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There is no doubt about that. One of the best owners in all of sports.
You just put pressure on him to make that happen.
I mean, he's going back to the Super Bowl.
Listen, I feel for Sean Payton in Denver. You go into that game after you lost your quarterback. I think they made a bad decision when they got down on around the 8-yard line by not taking points. I'm all about points in playoff games. Yeah. I thought Sean could have tied the game up at 10-all, and as you saw, the final was 10-7, I believe. So therefore, but once again, great job by Sean Payton turning that thing around. Unfortunately, they lost their quarterback. And then Drake May, congratulations. Second-year guy taking your team to a Super Bowl. Amazing.
And with Mike Vrabel in his first year as head coach there. Howie, that was close throughout. What do you expect today in this contest?
Listen, they made a change in New England, and look where it's gotten them. They had to make a change in Seattle. In 2023, Seattle went to Baltimore, got their brakes beat off by a young, brilliant defensive coordinator. And it was then that John Snyder realized we need to make a change if we want to get back to this game. Now, just 2 seasons in under Mike McDonald, they're 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Could be a great rebound.
All right, we're going to talk much more about this matchup in the NFC Championship game. But before we go to break, we've got some cool news for you that honors a football legend who is dear to our hearts. This March, Cal Poly opens the John Madden Football Center.
There you go.
The $45 million, 35,000 square foot facility honors the 2-time alumnus and Hall of Fame coach John Madden. It features state-of-the-art training spaces, meeting rooms, and a player lounge where the next generation can even play his famous video game. Prior to his passing, Madden himself made a large donation to make this facility a reality. Fox Sports is also a proud donor to the project. All right, just about ready to get you set for the NFC Championship from Seattle. Yes, here we are now. We're going to entertain you, at least the football players will.
Well, I tell you what, playing here is just about as nice as those kids get to play at Cal Poly.
Seahawks ticket hotline.
I need the rendezvous point to get my tickets to the game.
You're a Seahawks fan, correct?
Yeah, say it with me.
Okay. Answer me this. How happy will you be when the Seahawks win?
Oh, if the Seahawks win, I can promise you, I will cry my eyes out.
Me too. Second question. What surprised you about the Seahawks season?
They didn't suck as much as I thought they would.
You sure you're a Seahawks fan?
Yeah, of course. I'm part of the dozens.
You mean the 12s?
Let's not get into semantics, okay? Just give me the rendezvous point.
Third question.
Third question? What are you, a troll? Huh?
Who's the best receiver in this game?
Obviously, Puka Nacua is not the answer that you wanted. JSN. Do not ask me what that stands for.
All right, I've got your rendezvous point. You need to go to the airport and hop on a plane back to LA. Rams fan.
Oh, very funny, Bird Brain, but the joke's on you because I drove here. They're towing my car.
Oh, look, you can't blame that guy for wanting a ticket. Look at this. I mean, this atmosphere here in Seattle is unmatched anywhere in the NFL. And it's always been one of the toughest places for the road teams, especially when a trip to the Super Bowl is on the line. I can't even hear myself, and I'm right down here. The Seahawks are perfect 3-0 at home in NFC Championship games because of these folks, the famed 12s.
My mother and I bought season tickets in 1992 in the Kingdome. It brings tears to my eyes. It's just so exciting, the passion and the love for this team.
Your Seahawks, Super Bowl 48 champions.
You know, in the last few years, we haven't had that excitement. We haven't had that energy.
We had our Super Bowl run 12 years ago, almost got it back-to-back, and we were so close. A little bit of rough times after that, you know. We lost Russell, we lost some players.
Well, the last few years, it's been pretty down, but now we're back, and watch out.
Cut straight upfield, has a gap. Shaheed to the end zone. Holy catfish!
Being part of the 12s is unlike any other fan base.
We are loud and proud.
These fans are crazy.
I feel like we are the secret weapon for the team.
I mean, this stadium is rocking.
The energy just keeps going and going and going, and we get louder and louder and louder.
They have an incredible home field advantage here.
We're not just watching the game, but we are affecting the game.
Almost impossible to actually hear.
The quarterback is trying to call signals, and he can't hear himself.
He gets it. He goes down.
Here we are, back on top, one step away from the biggest stage on earth. It's amazing to be a part of this.
You know, Rashid Shaheed had a return for a touchdown. It measured 3.2 on the Richter scale. That's how loud it gets in here. You know, late owner Paul Allen designed this stadium so that all the sound comes back in. The way it's designed, it's an outdoor stadium, but it's still one of the loudest, if not the loudest, in the league. And I was here playing with the Giants, 11 false starts in one game. 11. Because you cannot hear yourself think. But I think the Rams have a veteran team. They've been here many times before, quarterback, offensive line, wideouts. I don't know if it's going to bother them as much as it's bothered other teams in the past. I think they have some experience with it. But you're really going to have to rely on just knowing the cadence of your quarterback, knowing the rhythm of your offense, and really be honed in on your responsibilities, because you can't even simulate how it feels to be on offense.
You can't hear me right here.
No, I can't.
It makes communication so tough.
If you look at this game, everybody's going to talk about the quarterbacks. And when I think about Seattle and Sam Darnold, you cannot play this game today without confidence. I think he's got that. Now, everybody says, well, he's had 6 interceptions against the Rams this year in their 2 games. Okay, so be it. But here's the thing. In week 16, down 16, he led his football team against these Rams into overtime, a winning drive, and a 2-point conversion. So if I'm Sam Darnold today, I exercise, I get rid of all the ghost path. Because today he belongs out here, he will show he belongs out here, and he will play inspired football for Seattle.
And the Seattle Seahawks on the offensive side of the ball have some serious weapons outside of their star wide receiver, Jackson Smith and Jigba. They got Kenneth Walker at the running back position, and he runs angry. And you don't want to tackle someone that runs angry, especially when it's this cold outside. And then Rashid Shaheed. John Snyder was working on a trade for 4 weeks prior to the trade deadline and finally got his guy. And man, has he been a difference maker. 3 kick returns for touchdowns since he's been on Seattle. And then my unsung hero of this offense, A.J. Barner. He's a tight end, obviously, and that's why I love him so much, but he plays with attitude out there. I love his style. He plays the game like he's going to fight someone, and they feed off his energy throughout the whole game.
You know, one thing, Howie, is they got to make sure Zach Charbonnet is now out, so Kenneth Walker's maybe going to have to do it a little bit by himself, but maybe the way the defense plays will help.
Yeah, and it's the #1 offense, scoring offense versus the #1 scoring defense, and that's what it comes down to. And I think John Snyder knew with in division, McVay, Shanahan, you got to compete. I've got to bring in Mike McDonald to complex defense. They bring in DeMarcus Lawrence, Williams at defensive tackle, Jones at backer last year, and their second-round pick, Eamon Wari, is kind of their version of Kyle Hamilton that he had and Mike McDonald had in Baltimore. I think the key today is, can they get Matthew Stafford off his spot? It's not necessarily the sacks. They haven't sacked Matthew Stafford since 2023. So it's the hurries, it's the hits. Get him off his spot, force him to make an errant throw.
Yeah, rush it. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're getting closer to kickoff of the NFC Championship. And of course, when we're on the road, one of the cool things is you guys get a chance, they're playing our song, to get out there and talk to the players, past and present. And that certainly happens here when you're in Seattle. Puka Nacua and the Rams getting ready to take on the Seahawks for the right to go to the Super Bowl. Before we go to break, we want to acknowledge the loss of a member of our Fox Sports family this week, Ron McGuggins. A Day One Fox employee, Ron began as a graphics operator and went on to become a technical producer on several high-profile broadcasts. His passing leaves a tremendous void. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and loved ones. We know it's cliche to go to the fish market when you come to Seattle, but Gronk wanted to give it a try, so we took him on a field trip. He made the catch. But thankfully, the 12s working there stopped him before they had to clean up a bunch of sushi. TB said, hey, let me get in on this action. First toss.
I had no rubber gloves like Gronk, even though he was catching it.
Well, you almost broke the glass. Not quite, so we decided to give you another shot.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
There you go.
That's why you're all a favorite. I'll tell you what, I don't know if Matthew Stafford can throw a fish, but I do know he's pretty special at throwing footballs. And as we welcome in Aaron Andrews, EA Stafford had his finest season throwing, and this is his 17th campaign.
He sure did. By the way, Terry Bradshaw looked fantastic. 17 years in, Matthew Stafford is having an MVP season, and the craziest part is how it all started. Many forget back in August and September, Stafford was this close to starting the season on IR with a back injury they couldn't figure out. Well, 46 touchdown passes later, and after 2 absolutely nail-biting road playoff wins, he has his Rams team making winning plays at the right time.
We have a huge challenge in front of us. You look at the first 2 playoff games that we've had, they haven't been perfect.
This is the best he's been. Father Time has not caught.
But we found ways to win the ball game.
We say a guy in his 17th season playing the best ball.
That's what it's all about this time of year.
He's on fire. Dial it up, baby.
Hey, set the tone, baby. Set the tone. Let's go, kid. Come on.
17 years in, your head coach, he just said heading into the playoffs, the season scars have made this team battle-tested for this moment. How did this season prepare this team for this playoff run and what we'll face in Seattle?
We had so many instances this year where we felt like we played well enough to win a game, we didn't win it. And those times in those locker rooms, they hurt. You know, they hurt after the game. But we learn from all those and make sure that these mistakes don't happen again.
Finish it now. Let's go. Come on.
This is an opportunity for us to grow.
Winning. There's it.
From the 19, Stafford settles his feet, shoots right side, leaping catch, touchdown at the front.
There's nothing better than quieting up a crowd and quieting up a team when they think they got something in the bag and you're able to go steal it from them. I told them, let's go snatch these guys' hearts.
Where did that come from? Is that a movie line? Is that a song lyric? What do you got for me?
That's just what I was thinking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and to be honest, if I have that, I feel like it kind of permeates throughout our offense and we can go out there and make plays.
Stafford is having his best year.
He just looks so relaxed. It's almost like he's on borrowed time.
Another huge moment in time by you, your throw to Devontae Adams. Have you seen all the angles of this?
I've seen a few, yeah.
Which ones have you liked the best?
I don't know. You know, coach's film is what I watch the most of. But yeah, there's some good ones on there.
Stafford to the air again, and it is caught at the left sideline.
An absolute dot, by the way. Can I
Great
say?
catch, great catch.
Absolute dot from Stafford.
Threw it into a little tire swing over there, and he, you know, plucked it off.
Soldier Field is silenced. The Rams going to Seattle for a 3rd meeting with the Seahawks, a game that will decide.
The last 2 times you've played Seattle, guys are separated by 1 point and 1 yard.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because that's what it feels like when you play these guys. Like, you're playing a really good football team, and I feel like we're a really good football team.
Yeah.
It's punches back and forth. And I mean, I'm hoping for, you know, round 3 to be another great football game.
Matthew Stafford sends a missile.
Is there a part of you that's just really looking forward to just going there to Seattle, the noise, that fast, violent defense?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest with you. I love that we get to go there. It's loud. It's a great defense. I love all those things stacked up against us.
This place is absolutely cooking.
It feels great this time around, being the guy that's kind of long in the tooth and been here for a little bit, leading the way.
What's your name? Who's your daddy?
How about, by the way, the eyebrow raise from Matthew Stafford when I asked him, you know, come in here. The Rams and Stafford understand what it's going to take in order for them to get to a Super Bowl. He told me other teams, they come up here and they are intimidated by this atmosphere, by the fast, aggressive defense. Those teams end up playing scared. The Rams, though, they're not intimidated. Coach Sean McVay telling us this week they're going to play aggressive, not reckless, and they'll live with the result. I'm pumped. I was here last week on that sideline watching that Seahawks defense go to work. Violence, absolutely fast, crazy swarming. I am so interested to see how the Rams offense will counter today.
You know what, Howie, this has been an exciting matchup whenever they played during this regular season.
Yeah, and I think they're confident because, you know, I think they believe Week 16 they probably should have won that football game. I think short of the pairing of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, this pairing of Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford is as good as it gets. You know, when you're talking about their run game, which keeps them in 3rd and manageable, Puka Nacua, who lit them up for over 200 yards in Week 16, Devontae Adams, who they didn't have Week 16, he's back. Their 3 tight end packages. You know, here's the thing. The game's probably going to be decided like the first 2 games, by 1 or 2 points. If that's the case and it comes down to a final drive, that guy right there has 55 game-winning drives both in the regular season and the playoffs. That's something Seattle doesn't want to see. The ball in his hands with 2 minutes to go on a drive.
And Howie, in the offseason, the Rams made a true business decision. They moved on from their star wide receiver, Cooper Kupp, and they went out and they got Davante Adams, and that has surely paid off. Davante on the goal line is like the tush push. He's just automatic. And then there's Puka Nacua. And here's the thing about Puka. Everyone knows it's going to him, and he still makes the play. He's just a beast. Puka is just a savage out there on the field. And is he more dangerous getting open or with the ball in his hands? Well, I can't answer that because he is so good at both. He is just demoralizing to defenses all year.
And, you know, for me, on the defensive side, that's going to be the biggest thing for the Rams. But up to week 12, they would get up 16 points a game. After week 12, 26.9. And for those of you who are mathematically challenged at our desk, that's 10 points, okay? I'm just clearing that up.
All right,
but
good.
The problem is...
I'm good at math.
But the problem is they in the red zone. They struggled in the red zone. They allow 6 touchdowns on 7 opportunities by their opponents. Defense, they have 26 takeaways. The good news about that is 6 of those are directly from Sam Darnold. So I know they're hoping for that today. But Jared Verse has to have a big game. They have to put pressure on Sam Darnold. That has always been a knock. You put pressure on Darnold, you make him panic. He's going to have a big game. And Byron Young got 12 sacks this season, none in the playoffs. They need him to show up and do well as also.
Two things have to happen for a football team to be successful and even great. Number one, you better have a great coach. So I think Les Snead, when he brought in Sean McVay, got his coach. This is McVay's 9th year. Secondly, you better have a quarterback. Matthew Stafford up for MVP. He's got the quarterback. He's got the head coach. Now here's what happened. That coach who came in as one of these offensive, smart guys can do it all, and we saw that. His brilliance on offense is amazing. But a great coach can make adjustments. He has to. And what I've seen so far with McVay this year is his ability to go to the running game. Howie talks about formation 13. 1 back, 3 tight ends. He used that inside the 20. But then he said, whoa, Davante Adams out. I'm going to use it the rest of the way. He's done that 19 runs against the Bears to win that game. Huge for that football team.
You got a chance to see McVay with his oldest son, Jordan, his wife, Veronica. McVay turned 40 years old yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Trying to get to his 3rd Super Bowl. All right, it's almost time for kickoff. Why don't we get the latest injury news from Jake Glazer with the ins and outs brought to you by Geico. Jay.
All right, guys. Look, Sam Darnold last week when he injured his oblique, he did not throw another pass at all for the rest of the week in practice. This week, he threw on Friday and actually talked to Sam right after that. He said, I am way better this week than I was a week ago. Doesn't see this being an issue at all today. Trey, though, you just talked about Byron Young, how much they need him. Look, Byron's knee actually blew up against Chicago. Didn't really practice at all this week. He's starting this game, but they really don't know how he's going to last. If that knee holds up, he'll play full-time. Obviously, if it doesn't, they'll have to limit what he could do. And finally, one other thing. You guys were talking about the crowd noise. And Sean McVay told me last night, didn't really love how we handled the crowd noise in Chicago. And I know here in Seattle, it's going to be way tougher. So I want to minimize the layers of communication that we have to kind of minimize the crowd noise with the Seahawks fans.
All right, a reminder that FanDuel is the best place for all your same-game parlay action, and Gronk has one for us today. Gronk?
FanDuel playoff mode activated. I got Matthew Stafford to throw for 225 or more passing yards. Puka Nacua to score a touchdown. Kyren Williams to rush for 40 or more yards. And Kenneth Walker to rush for 70 or more yards.
All right, you can turn playoff mode on with FanDuel and get a profit-boosted pack every NFL game day to use on same-game parlays like this one, which will pay out 5 times your wager. All right, guys, who's going to the Super Bowl to face the New England Patriots? Jerry.
Well, I'm a firm believer in defense. I love defense. I think great defense beats great offense. The number 1 scoring defense versus the number 1 scoring offense. I'm taking defense. I'm going with Seattle.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle too. I played up here. Michael mentioned how difficult it is to play up here. I think it's going to be difficult to play up here today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough, but I don't think it intimidates the Rams. I'm going to go with LA.
The Rams, they just know how to play Sam Darnold. Rams versus Patriots.
All right, it's time to find out who's going to Super Bowl 60, the NFC Championship game between the Rams and Seahawks, coming your way with kickoff next. We thank you as always for watching this Fox NFL pregame presented by GMC. Enjoy the game.
Here in Seattle, it's the NFC Championship game on Fox, and the home team Seahawks take the field, getting set to take on the Los Angeles Rams for the right to go to Super Bowl 60. And we say welcome to the booth. He's Tom Brady, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Tom, these two teams know each other well. They played twice in the regular season. Each team won a game, and all that separated them was 1 yard and 1 point. Now the matchup today is this. The Rams have the best offense in the league. Seattle, the best defense in the NFL. How does Matthew Stafford find enough to get the Rams on the scoreboard to win this game?
That's what it's all about today. It's the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. Seattle's team makes everything so tough. They have incredible size, team speed, their scheme, their ability to win so many one-on-one matchups is the best in the league. So today, it's all about the Rams' ability to produce on first down. They've got to be efficient in the run game. Stafford's got to hunt some easy completions over the ball. They need to be surgical. They need to be precise, because second and long and third and long in this environment today is nearly impossible. Good news for the Rams fan, that's what they've done all year. They do have a surgical quarterback. They have the skilled players. They have the ability to do it. This crowd is fired up. I'm fired up. Championship football, it gets no better than this today here in Seattle.
And you know, Sean McVay is always fired up, but when we talked to him this week, he was on a heater, Aaron Andrews. Man, he was fired up for this one.
We've never seen him like that, Kevin. Before we could even ask Sean McVay a question, he went on a 5-minute inspiring rant about the word courage. McVay and even his quarterback Matthew Stafford told me this week, when teams come to play in Seattle, they play scared. McVay said, I want you to be courageous today. Play without fear. I want you to be aggressive. He said, look, I have respect for this group. They are very good. They've peeled people's faces off since we last saw them in week 16. He said, I like our chances, but we have to play a heck of a lot better than we have the last 2 weeks. His quarterback, Matthew Stafford, telling me, I don't want to be anywhere but here today. Coming up after the break, we will honor America with the singing of our national anthem.
At this time, we invite you to stand and remove your hats for the national anthem. As our nation approaches its 250th anniversary, the year 2026 will commemorate 2.5 centuries of freedom, unity, and the founding ideals set forth in the Declaration of Independence. The National Football League and the Seattle Seahawks are proud to stand with the America 250 Commission in honoring this historic milestone and reflecting on the enduring spirit of our country. Here to present our nation's colors is the United States Coast Guard. And now, here to perform our national anthem, Washington native and 2025 Academy of Country Music Awards New Male Artist of the Year, Zach Top.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the